In today's episode, we have Kim Dang with us, who's going to share how she was able to build a successful software company with Chrome extensions. You will also get to hear how building software has led her into selling online courses, her 4-phase life cycle of a Chrome extension framework, and how solving your own needs can be a very lucrative business opportunity. And now, on with the show. Welcome to the Online Course Igniter podcast, where you'll hear from successful course creators and how they were able to turn their passion into a thriving online business empire. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the podcast today. We have Kim Dang with us, and I am super excited for this episode. She has created a software that I use every day and is just an expert in just groups and online business and online courses and building software. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm really excited for this. How are you doing today, Kim?
Doing great. Thank you, Jeremy, for having me on.
Yes, definitely. I want to get into your software. And if anyone doesn't know, I use Kim's software. It's called Group Convert. And it's a software that really helps the workflow of my business and groups. And we'll talk about that shortly. But before we do, I would just love to hear, how did you even get into online business in the beginning? If you want to give the audience a little bit of your backstory, we would love to hear it.
Sure. I remember my very first day working a full-time job, and it made me think about. It really hit me hard because right after college, when all my friends went to medical school or got their masters, I just lounged around with my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't do anything. He spoiled me, and I just like watched Netflix all day. I didn't really care. Some of my friends went to um, backpacking in Europe and all that other stuff, and I just like chilled out for a little bit. College was very intense for me,
Mhm.
and I went to UCLA, so it's like super competitive.
Right.
So, anyways, I'm like, I gotta take a break. And when I did, I spent my days doing whatever I wanted, and it felt great. And then our relationship didn't work out, so I had to move back home, and then I had to get a full time job. And my very first day of the full time job, I realized I couldn't do whatever I wanted for the next forever. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I Googled how to make money online. I remember that day, like that evening. And I found a 5-page PDF about drop shipping. So that led me into the world of just selling stuff I don't have, shipped from China, high returns, very low margins. Just listed things on eBay. It told me to go and type in a product plus the word dropship and then go and find warehouses that would do it for you. So I just did it. And then I started making like $1,000 online. And then I looked closer into eBay, saw that I could sell car parts. And I think I am on the more extreme end of like, I don't know, figuring things out or really want to like figure it out. So I saw that car parts were exploding, and I went and I started a dismantling company, which is a car parts pick apart company where you buy cars whole, and then you have people take it apart and then you sell it online. And that's how I started having any kind of real online income. From there, it enabled me freedom to travel the world. I automated my business so I didn't have to be there. And that's when something dramatic happened. So the warehouses I rented, all of a sudden the owner, who owns a lot of warehouses, a lot of property all over the US, they're like, well, Kim, something got legalized. And so these people with huge money came in, and they needed these warehouses for like grow operations and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
And I saw the mom and pop businesses around me get evicted for these big money, businesses. And it shook me to my core. It made me think about wow, I can have a business, but as long as it's location dependent, I'm very
Mm.
vulnerable.
Mhm.
So because of that, it made me really scared, and I told them, hey, I can still pay your rent, and they're like, well, can you pay 5 times? And I'm like, no. So they reduced my warehouse space from 2 to 1, and I had to get rid of like $200,000 worth of inventory, and
Wow.
it made me it like it was traumatic. And so and they gave me only a couple months to do it. So I did it in the span of 3 months. During that time, I went online again, and I figured, okay, I need to find a type of business that's completely location independent, that I'm tired of all this overhead costs. I have to pay all these type of taxes plus permit fees, everything like that for a legit location based business. And I have to have full-time local employees. So I want to find something that doesn't involve any of that. And that's when I started looking into making money online in terms of affiliate income, because I don't need anything. I can just sell other people's stuff. So that's how I started talking to Spencer Meekum, who did over $1 million
Mm.
with um, ClickFunnels affiliates. I talked to this dude named Blake Newbar, who sold, his courses and built the fastest, what is it, money generating funnel in the shortest amount of time. And I started speaking to these people who've discovered a way to really, really scale. And that's when I noticed a trend in the people I was talking to. So Marcus Campbell, he has a Chrome extension. Nate McAllister, I interviewed him. He has a Chrome extension. Spencer Meekum had a Chrome extension. And I figured, hey, can I have a Chrome extension? Because Spencer Meekum, he did a module for me when I launched in my course. I'm like, hey, Spencer, I interview you. Can you do a little module for me how this Chrome extension changed your income? And he's like, oh, yeah, I gave away a free Chrome extension and I made $20,000. And he acted like that was nothing. And at that time, I thought that was like witchcraft. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I got into, I asked around and I decided on embarking on my own Chrome extension business. And that's when I remember around over 108 weeks ago. And I tell my story a lot, so I know like super the details.
Yeah, right.
108 weeks ago, I launched my Chrome extension to a list of 25 people. I had 25 people on my mailing list, and two people said yes to $7 a month for the first Chrome extension that I own. And I don't know how to code. I went and I had someone make it, a developer from across the world make it. And yeah, and then now after 108 weeks, I've had over 10,000 emails collected because of that Chrome extension. I have thousands of users paying me monthly. And not only that, I found out that enabled me to get into courses. That enabled me to now go, okay, I know how to make monthly recurring income fast from something so tiny and simple and low cost, that this is such a solution for a lot of people who are trying to pay their bills, or make it somehow where it's not dependent upon a location, high overhead costs, or anything. Like, they don't have to be a technical CEO, they don't have to master marketing, because it's so high value and nothing sells easier than software. Just nothing. It's a little demo video, and you either want it or you don't. You're not like begging people or like knocking down doors. So within a week of launching it, I was making around 1,500 monthly recurring income, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! Everyone should know this. That's what got me into the course world. I launched a $7 course. At that time, I knew nothing about courses or anything like that, but I know that I don't have any modules in there, and I don't want to try to assume what people want to know, but I want to build it with them with what they need. And so that was important for me to learn, because before that, I always thought, oh, I have to make all these things, I have to build out all these videos. And when I learned that you don't want to assume what they want, but you give them what they need, that changed the whole game for me. And a bunch of people got into my $7 course, which is literally an empty Facebook group. And I told them, I'm going to add you to this Facebook group. It's completely empty. I don't know how far I'll go with this, but I'll teach you what I know. And some of those students who came in at $7 today have been able to quit their jobs, have been able to make over $100,000 with their Chrome extension business, making thousands per month, 10,000, 20,000. And it made me go, whoa, if I didn't do that $7 course, I wouldn't, have the so many people be part of my world who are software CEOs now. So that's my whole kind of story. And where we are today is when I realized that a little Chrome extension isn't a teeny tiny Chrome extension, it's a gateway to the life you could live, to the financial abundance you can have, and to the influence of leading a tribe for yourself is really what that's about. Because once you know the blueprint, once you know how to do this, you can rinse and repeat this again and again. You can have a whole portfolio of Chrome extensions, which is what I have now. I have like over 7. And you can ascend your people on the smaller level on a problem solution type of map so that you can have higher ticket offers. You can charge. Now I have like $10,000 programs, $30,000 programs that I'm attracting people who are using my software so that they see value from me right away, even before they hop on the call. Like when they hop on the call with me or one of my sales reps, they're already sold because they're like, oh my God, you already saved me so much time with your software. What else do you have? And I tell them, hey, do you know that we have this coaching program? And then they're like, what, you do? Okay, sign me up. Because like one of my clients or students in my course, he's like, before when I went into a room, I would have to kind of prove myself. I would have to say, oh, I'm an agency owner. And there's a lot of agency owners out there. But I felt like I was just one in a crowd. And then now when I enter a room, I know that they owe me. They owe me so much because I'm going to save them all this time and make them all this income. And it's because any type of little productivity software out there, you can have a customer who is, let's say, just starting out, but your customer could be the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and they're
Mhm.
using your teeny tiny software. And so you're connecting with all of those people, and saving 1 hour of their time is saving probably, $10,000 for them or more. So it's super valuable. And it's a solution that sits online 24/7, available to be consumed at a click of a button to have instant value. And anyone can access it all over the world. So I have customers from India, from Singapore, from the UK, all over the world. So now, like, I remember 2 months after I launched my Chrome extension, I went to Funnel Hacking Live and I had customers stalk me. Just kidding. Not stalk me, but they literally sought me out because I wrote, hey guys, I'm going to be at Funnel Hacking Live. And at that time, I was nobody. It was just 2 months after I launched. And I had a guy named Chris Weiser. He tapped me on the shoulder when I was just standing around. And he's like, hey, Kim, because he recognized me. And I said, oh, hello, how are you? Who are you? And he's like, oh, my name's Chris, and I use your Chrome extension. I'm a fan. I really like it. I sell 4 more of my courses a day because of it. He's like, I do really well on LinkedIn, but I was struggling to monetize from the Facebook group. And so I'm like, wait, 4 more of your courses a day? And I asked him, how much is one course? And he said, 997. So I said, effectively, I help you make $4,000 more a day for your month. And he's like, yep. And he's like, I owe you a drink. And I said, okay,
Wow.
cool. And I don't know, I felt like, whoa, how small is this world? I felt like the world was so big, and at the same time, it collapses so that you could connect with all these people. And it felt like, to me, that's insane. So, so the journey of the my Chrome extension, which by the way, for those who are listening, it's Group Convert. What it does is it collects emails from your Facebook group by taking the data of the three questions and answers that people answer when they come into a Facebook group. Normally, people have to copy and paste that manually into like an Excel sheet. If one of the questions are, "What's your email address?" And with Group Convert, it does it automatically. It'll take that information and it'll push it to a Google Sheet. And from there, you can integrate it with using Zapier with any email autoresponder, anything that Zapier integrates with, like Facebook custom audience, LinkedIn custom audience, Instagram, all the thousands of software Zapier integrates with. So it's very powerful. The newest feature we have added is the ability for you to send the first message as members come into your group. And you can customize the message based on which group they're entering in. So you can do group name, first name, last name, customization. And the reason why that's very powerful is because when people enter Facebook groups, they're not looking for to hang around, they're not looking to hang out. They're looking to solve a problem. So if they're going into a how to grow and monetize your Facebook group type of Facebook, they're looking to do exactly that. So the first message you send them could be, "Hey, how are you?" And you kind of filter, you kind of see where they're at and if they want the solution now. If so, you can send them to your offer. And we've had conversions where someone will come in at a $10 a month software, which is our lowest price, and then pay for our 7,500 program within the span of 48 hours. So, because of that phenomenon, now I teach coaches, course creators to sell more of their offers on autopilot using Facebook groups, using automation based on simple software, and having this road be easy, be fun, be cool. And now we're getting crazy results. Like Kim Seltzer, she did $70,000 and $80,000 on her very first launch to an empty Facebook group of only 400 people. She sent 400 people in within like 2 weeks. She pitched her high ticket offer, and she sold 12 ladies to a $6,000 offer. So that's like almost 80,000. And it blew her mind. She's like, whoa. She's been in business for the past 2 decades. And she's like, "Kim, I do webinars and I do podcasts." And she has all these things flowing around. And she's like, "I never utilized a Facebook group that way before. And I have no idea I could create a multi-million-dollar business out of nothing, like carved out of my expertise, which isn't nothing, but just forged
Right.
within like a short period of time. So
Right.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and no, it's crazy because I have so many questions. We're gonna have to do like a part two or something because I just
Sure.
have so much I want to ask you. But
Yeah.
it's wild because I came from the same background. I was doing screen printing and also ran into the problem of that overhead and was looking for something to do online. I found the online courses first, and you went the software route. What I wanted to ask you, I had a couple questions that I wanted to ask about when you first made that piece of software. How did you come up with the idea to do Group Convert or any other extensions that you were making at that time?
Yeah, so I saw every single Chrome extension I have solves my own problem. So I went into a group and I saw a similar software out there, and I'm like, well, I want this feature and I want that feature. And I think as a non-software CEO, you kind of think that your life is at the mercy of finding the solution that someone else created. You never think that you turn the table around and you own it. Like you just never think that way.
Hmm.
But because I went, "Wait a minute, can I think that way?" And I spoke to people who own software, so I'm like, they think that way. So I put in feature requests to the software that's similar to Group Convert, and they didn't really answer me. Like their focus was on other things. So I said, "Okay, how hard is this?" So I created a version for myself where I can control the features, And I remember when I launched it, there were several versions just floating around on the internet, anyways. And one of the people that I interviewed, he got pissed off that I was creating my own version. He's like, "You shouldn't rustle the feathers of giants." Like
Okay.
at that time, he's like a winner of all these accolades, and then he was gonna release his own version, and he did release his own version, and so he felt like I think I was this nobody trying to like do something. And at
Mm,
that time, to me, I'm like, well, I want my own features. I want to be able to put feature requests and I want it to happen. Um, so that's how I got into it. But really, the story of owning software leads all the way back to 2008. I was on a date with a guy, and at the end of the night, I still remember that date very clearly because it's one of those moments that I can't forget. We were walking down this beach, and I could still remember hearing the waves of the ocean and how dimly lit the alleyway is. And he turns to me and he's like, "Hey, Kim, did you know that you can hire someone from across the world for like a couple $100 and they will make software for you and you can sell software?" And I turned to him and I'm like, "You're crazy." At that time, I was working a part time job, going to school, and thinking, this guy's nuts. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be Elon Musk. I'm not trying to
mhm.
be someone who owns software, or what are you thinking? And he's like, "No, no, no, no. Go on Odesk and do it today. It will change your entire life." And I said, "Sure." And I went home and I didn't do it. And in 2019, last year, no, 2018, I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw that his company went public on NASDAQ,
Oh,
his
wow.
software company. And it sent chills through my spine. I was like, "Oh my God, it's the same guy that told me about this." And he has a public company on NASDAQ now. And it just brought me back to that moment. And so when I talk to my people now, and especially for the course creators out there, the reason why someone will invest in your course is because of that feeling that they either need to do this now or they'll spend the rest of their life just wondering, or just going back to the same life that they used to live, the next years of their life are just going to be the last year. This clock in, clock out routine life that most of them have. And so if you can say that, look at this, you can enter this world and it will explode everything around you. It's going to light up everything around you. You'll be able to connect with all these people around the world. You'll be able to command this type of freedom, this type of financial abundance that, once you learn this one time, you can replicate this process for the rest of your life. So by the end of 10 years, you're going to look back on this sea of subscribers just supporting you financially and helping you as well mentally. Because every day you wake up with gratitude from so many users thanking you for you creating this piece that you put out into the world, this dent in your universe. So yeah, so that's how I got started, and every other software after that was something I would use almost every day. So now I look at something, I'm like, can I have my own version?
Yeah, it's dangerous for me to talk to you because I always want to create my own software and I've never done it before.
Oh my
And
God, that's
I
not
have
dangerous.
a
That's life altering.
I have a list in my phone of software ideas. So we're gonna have to talk a little more after this. Facebook groups are a wonderful way to build a community, have conversation with your audience, and provide tremendous value to your raving fans. But did you know they can be a great way to generate leads too? I use a program every day called Group Convert in my business that takes the answers when someone joins my group and immediately pushes them to a Google Sheet, something that had to be done manually in the past. That means that I can ask for an email address and one of the 3 questions in exchange for a lead magnet, newsletter, or other offer. Group Convert then takes that email, sends it to a Google Sheet, which can then be sent off to my email marketing software, automating my Facebook group into a lead generation machine. If you would like to learn more about this amazing software to generate leads for your business, then head over to onlinecourseigniter.com/group convert. That's onlinecourseigniter.com/group convert. Speaking of which, let's talk about your course, because your course, from what I understand, solves a little bit of this problem. You have a course called Chrome Boss. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it's at chromebosslive.com. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that course, and how that can help someone out here listening today.
Yeah, so my course is a live coaching program plus everything I know in pre-recorded modules. And the reason why it will help you because it'll collapse time. That's what it'll do. Instead of you trying to figure it out in like a year, you'll figure everything out in a month. Some of my students have launched, they binge watch everything that I have within 2 days, and then they launch their Chrome extension literally in 2 days. That's the fastest I've seen it happen. And then other students, they start monetizing in as little as a couple weeks. I do case studies in my course all the time, just straight up to their face saying, look, you think that I'm, someone with thousands of users and all this stuff, and oh, it's so easy for me. But I'm going to start off at zero. I won't launch to the list. I'll just go live on Facebook here and I'll demo a Chrome extension that I didn't even put on any marketplace. All I got is the zip file back. I'll just demo it and I'll have an invoice link and I'll show you how to go from zero to cash within a few weeks. And I did that. I would show up, I'll show them my step-by-step process, what I did in front of their face. And so they have no excuse. I went live for like 13 minutes one time and I made $2,000 out of like a little invoice link. And there was nothing after the invoice link. There was no complicated thing, no big automation that's included with it. And I delivered the Chrome extension in a zip file. I just gave it to them, Google Drive. So do you need to have everything all together? No, but it's really, really cool to be able to just sell screen name and passwords out of nothing, out of pixels, and having them feel like they have immense value because it is software that will save them time. So, you know, that's the benefit of the course is it will collapse time for you in a way that nothing else out there will. No course online right now compares to what I have just because how niche am I? I'm teaching something super niche. I'm teaching about a plugin, how to have your own Chrome extension business, how to make passive income from your own Chrome extension business. So I niche down really deep. It's a part of a browser, the Google browser, and a plugin of the browser. So a Chrome extension is something similar to Honey. If some of you guys haven't heard of a Chrome extension before, Honey is a Chrome extension company. What it does is it's a little tiny icon that sits on your browser, Google browser, and you click on it. And what it's going to do when you visit a website is it's going to scan the data of the website and it's going to tell you if you can find something cheaper somewhere else and it'll send you to the other place if you can save money. So it's a really money saving type of tool. And Honey right now has over 10 million users. And think of 10 million people clicking on your affiliate links every single day. Like it's insane. That's why Honey was sold to PayPal bought out Honey last year for like $4 billion,
Mhm.
mostly cash. So there's a thing to this Chrome extension world. But what's really important is you're getting the skills and the blueprint to do this again and again. So you don't have just one Chrome extension. A lot of my students have 2 to 3 to 4. And then you're having that passive income from each one so that it funds other things in life. It funds your house, it funds your car. The Russell Brunson is someone that I learned from, and he has a software called ClickFunnels. And he said if he wanted a pool, he would just think of how many subscribers he needs. If he wants a house, how many subscribers he needs. And so when in this online space, if you're working really, really hard to get subscribers per se on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You can have 1,000 YouTube subscribers, but that doesn't mean each person is paying you $10 a month. That doesn't mean you're making $10,000 a month effortlessly. But if you're going to put in the effort, you're going to put in the hard work, I say make every subscriber count. Make every single subscriber have the ability to be paying you $10 to $97 a month. So with that said, like Robert McCorkle, one of my students, he only had 100 people by the time he was like, hey, I soft launched my Chrome extension. There's only 100 users. But guess what? I charge $30 a month and every user is paying me that. So that's $3,000 a month. That's $3,000. Wait, the yeah, 100 times
Mhm.
30. Yeah, $3,000 a month on 100 people. Do you think that a YouTuber or an Instagram influencer out there is making $3,000 a month with 100 followers? Most likely not. But that's why I'm not anti YouTube or anti Instagram or any of that. Like, you could do that as well. But if you're gonna be gathering subscribers, why not have it be, being the CEO of your own software company? And especially one of like I remember my single, students. I'm like, you know what? You can put on Tinder, your Tinder profile, that you're the CEO of your own software company, and it will set you apart like crazy. You'll get so many dates, and it's true. It's not like you're lying, it's the truth. So,
So, so how are you getting people to, or how are your students or you getting people to download, buy, purchase these extensions? Is it through organic advertising? Do you just set it up on some kind of marketplace and it sells? How does that process work?
yeah, so I have like a 4 phase of the Chrome extension life cycle. The phase 1 is going from 0 to cash, 0 to idea to cash, and then that means, using our funnel that converts, that means using my organic selling methods. That means, we have, like, scripts, we have posts, we have everything for you to convert, and you just follow it. It's not like you have a million options. I tell you, this is the one path you choose. This is the one thing that you do. This is the one funnel that you will use. This converts for us really well. And I have a lot of my students go through that exact, like, one funnel, one, like, these scripts, this image type of methodology where it gamifies uh giving away a Chrome extension in order to build a list quick, and then pre-launching. We have a Launch Like a Pro system that pre-launches your Chrome extension. So Zeki Ahmed, he did like $10,000, selling $10,000 even before he delivers his Chrome extension because of this pre-launch method.
Hmm.
So pre-launch method, all the scripts, the exact converting funnel we use, and my students who do really well, they just follow it exactly. They don't deviate too much from it. It's just like, here's what you do step by step. Day 0 to day 5 to day 10. It's very much super like laid out for you. So I don't have you like think too much about how to get subscribers. It's like 0 to cash, let's go. Let's do this. The second phase is making sure that your messaging is correct so people signing up won't cancel. Your cart value increases so you have upsells, downsells, so that they don't come in for $10. They leave with like $300, just like how you go to Costco and you're like, well, I'm gonna get that one thing, and then you end up spending like $200 food. And so that's a second cycle where you increase cart value. The third cycle is, okay, you got your messaging correct. Your Chrome extension is on marketplaces. We have like 7 that we recommend and how to get approved. And then um, and so people aren't canceling, good cart value. Okay, let's pour gasoline on the fire. Let's turn on ads. So you run paid ads. And how do you run paid ads to your Chrome extension, to your simple software? The type of paid ads that are worth it are like self liquidating paid ads. And I think to those listening who don't know these tribal languages, such as like self liquidating and all this other stuff, maybe it's harder for you to understand, but just Google it. And then the fourth phase of the Chrome extension lifecycle is your decision. Do you want to rinse and repeat this? Or do you want to amplify what you have and make it bigger, go bigger, which is adding an affiliate army to it, making sure you cultivate that affiliate relationship, making you cultivate all these other relationships that really exploded on top of your paid ads. Or do you want to do this for another idea, another business that you have? So it's your choice. So you go through the cycle, you kind of rinse and repeat it several times for all your portfolio of Chrome extension ideas. So, yes, there are marketplaces. Yes, there are funnels. Yes, you can go live and just freaking sell it on a one live Facebook live video or Instagram live or whatever live you have. Um, you can do all of that, but the emphasis within the first 30 days you're in the program is, I call it my fastest path to cash module. What I do know is that if someone doesn't get that cash, that fast path to cash right away, they're not going to be motivated to sit through all the rest of the stuff. And so I try to get you there super fast. But it is a learn as you go, your own pace type of program as well. So I don't really like punish you. There's no like bad guilty feelings if you aren't going as fast as you are, because you can't compare your, first step to someone's 10,000th step. So,
Right.
yep. So that's what's included without going down the, the value
Yeah.
stack. Like this is, value of 297. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That answered a lot of the questions. Now, thinking about the people listening in the online course creation space, because you've created software, you've created online courses, different businesses. Thinking to the people who are listening who are kind of early on in their online course journey, maybe they're struggling to create their course, or maybe they're struggling, they have a course, but they don't know how to market it, or they're not getting any sales. Is there any good piece of advice that you could give to those people?
Yeah. So I remember I had a cough. I paid $300 to talk to a dude named Charles Dew. I felt, mastered courses because he would make a course about product management. He worked for Apple, he worked for NASA, he worked for all these big, huge companies, and he was able to um, say that I did all these things for these big companies, and I can teach you how to be a manager, product manager. And he had a course that he sells for 497. And at that time, I knew him because of the fact that I met him in a entrepreneur lunch, entrepreneur dinner in Thailand. I was just randomly in Thailand. I was single. I met a dude, um, and he was French. And he's like, "Hey Kim," through Tinder. He's like, "Hey Kim, we're having an entrepreneur dinner tonight. Do you want me to come grab you?" I was in Thailand, so I don't have like transportation. He's like, "You want me to come grab you and drive you to this location where you're gonna eat food with a bunch of other entrepreneurs?" And I said, "Yes, let's go." And he showed up in his motorbike, and total stranger, and I remember like holding on to him so I won't fall off the bike. And we drove for almost an hour on the bike. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this. I'm with a random stranger driving through Thailand, for an hour, not knowing if he's gonna take me to an alleyway and kill me or not, or whatever. And Yeah, he was the head of this entrepreneur dinner. And in the dinner, I was sitting there, and to my left, there were people who are selling like millions of dollars from their product that they created on Amazon. Like, I met some guys who created the Manta mask, the the
Mm-hmm.
the face mask. And at that time, I had no idea who they are. So I'm like, what do you do? Oh, we create like a face mask for people to sleep. Um, and it's called Manta. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I turned to my right. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I teach, I teach people how to become product managers, and I travel full time. I'm like, oh, from a course, from just a course? He's like, yeah, I make like over $10,000 a month just doing nothing with that course. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I was surrounded by these crazy just people. And And I have my, auto dismantling company. So I'm like, I have a story myself, but I'm not doing millions with
Mhm.
it at that time. So I'm like, what the heck is going on with all these crazy people? So I friended him on Facebook, and then at one point he was in the same state that I'm in, and not only is he a unicorn in a sense because he worked at NASA, he was involved with the first NASA app, and he got an award for that. He was the founder of Rideshare, one of the co-founders of
Oh,
Rideshare.
wow.
He worked at Apple, and he spearheaded an Apple project. He got an award for that. He also is a yoga teacher that teaches other yoga teachers how to make income online. And he's asked to speak around like yoga conferences worldwide. And he also is a magician. So he trained for like years under another magician, and so he has exclusive access to this place in Los Angeles called the Magic Castle. It's this exclusive club where only if a magician goes and goes and accepts you to come into that house, that you can be included in that place. And in that house, in that mansion, it's huge. There were magic done all over the place on all the rooms, on all the levels. And they had like $50 dinners that you can eat, like really like good food there as well. But the magic shows were so premium that it blew my mind away. I'm like, oh my God, this is so intense. So, anyways, the reason why magic and all of that is because I reached out to him on Messenger. I'm like, hey, I saw that you're in California. And he's like, oh yeah, I am. I'm only gonna be here to attend this magic show because every year there's a Halloween themed magic show in Los Angeles at the Magic Castle, and I bring a select amount of friends to come with me because I'm a magician. And I'm like, oh, you're a magician? Okay. Well, cool. Like, how hard is it to be a magician? He's like, well, you're on a waiting list for 6 months and you have 10 minutes to do a magic trick in front of the board of the magicians. And if they accept you, then you get in. But if you don't pull off your magic trick in those 10 minutes, then you don't get accepted into the society. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's crazy. And so he's like, do you want to be one of my guests? I'm coming with friends. And I said, yes, let's go. So I went, and that's when I got to know him more. And then I paid for a $300 consultation to sit down with him and kind of pick his brain and say, hey, how are you doing all this stuff? How are you traveling all over the world? How are you living this type of life? How are you this like, crazy? Like, this is odd. And he's like, well, you can teach anything. He told me, I was sitting in a coffee shop with him asking him these questions, and he's like, I'm like, should I teach something where it's trending? Should I teach something where it's like, Excel? People love Excel, so maybe I should teach an Excel class. Like, I was all into, let's create a freaking course because I want to be able to do what you do and have this freedom. And he's like, he told me, he's like, you can teach anything, Kim. You don't have to go after what's trending. And his words hit me hard when I was doing my live events teaching people how to create passive income from a Chrome extension plugin. And one of my speakers actually came up to me. He's like a six-figure earner with, I don't know, Doug Botten. He spoke at my event, and he's like, Kim, how weird is this? I'm speaking at your live event, and we are talking about a plugin on a browser. So it blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God. I created a whole live event about plugin from a browser. Like, that's how crazy it was. And that bring me back to that moment in the coffee shop where I realized that I can teach anything I want. So one advice
Mm.
I would say to whoever's listening is, teach what lights the fire in your soul. Teach what will solve your own initial problem, and you will be able to see, like, if you play games, if you're a gamer, you go and you start walking somewhere and the map of the world starts becoming more apparent for you. I feel like the online course world is very similar to that. You solve your own problem, you realize that it's a solution, you want to tell the world about it. So you go and you have people come along. You don't assume what that they need. You don't create all these modules to assume that that's what they should have. You give them what they need as you teach it with them. And from your first beta version, then and you get results, then you can go and go and charge higher, go and charge super premium after you do the results. So for me, I did the mistake of like just slowly increasing my prices, but I should have just shot up and increased my price like right after I produced those results, because it's no big deal to spend, a couple hundred, couple thousand to have a lifetime of passive income. That's the real result in the end for my course. But whatever is the lifetime of X that you are going to provide for your people, there's no amount of money they wouldn't pay in order to for you to collapse time for them in a fun way. They're learning from you and they dive with you. So that's my advice. Like, you can teach anything you want.
That's awesome, Kim. I think that's very well said. And I think that we will wrap up the show on that note just because you've given so much great information today. I love just listening to you. I feel like I could just sit here and listen to you for hours, talk about your businesses, and your expertise definitely shines through. And so I know that there's going to be people out there who want to learn more about you and about your online businesses and your extensions. If you don't have Group Convert, I definitely recommend it. I use it myself, and it saves so much time, and you can do so many cool things with it. So where can people find out more about you online?
You found me through a little Chrome extension that you downloaded. So I would say go and do the same path. Go to groupconvert.com, try it out. I have a 14-day free trial. Otherwise, my main site is kimcdang.com. And if you want to figure out and learn about the Chrome extension world, it's chromebosslive.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim, for coming on the podcast today. We really appreciate you being here.
No problem. Thank you, Jeremy, for having me. This was wonderful.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Kim. You can find out more about her and her businesses by visiting kimcdang.com. Or you can get the show notes of this episode along with links and resources by visiting onlinecourseigniter.com/20. See you next week for another exciting episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Online Course Igniter podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening so that you don't miss an episode. If you would like to learn more marketing strategies and how to sell your online course, then also check out our free community where we share tips, tricks, and tutorials at onlinecourseigniter.com/community.